This week's episode looks a little bit different to normal. I have one of my gorgeous friends here who happens to be the ultimate big sister of TikTok. If you've ever been scrolling your For You page and seen a girl talking about anything real, giving grounded advice about friendship, self-love, growing up, glowing up, it was probably Ash Donna. Ash, welcome to Let's Be Frank.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God, that was so nice to hear.
I'm so excited to have you. You genuinely are like the best big sister advice, go-to girl. I have been watching you, I honestly don't know for how long. You're always on my For You page giving advice or doing your get ready with me's, but we didn't actually get to meet that long ago. It was only a couple of months ago now, I feel like.
Yeah, I think it was at an event
It was
a month ago.
Like a month or two ago.
Yeah, I think
it feels crazy because I feel like I've known you for so long.
I feel like that's the thing with TikTok. I remember when I met you, I was like, oh my God, I finally met you, but I feel like I've known you for a while.
Even the other day we were both talking about, we went on a walk and we were like, we were working with the same person at the same time, like pretty closely together, and it just never like clicked.
Yeah.
That we were doing the same thing at the same time. Anyway, we are both in this kind of weird, exciting stages of life, early 20s. You just turned 22.
Yeah, the fun birthday weekend.
But it's such a fun stage of life. I feel like you're learning about yourself, growing, changing, friendships, goals, all of the above. So I thought, what a better person to sit down with other than the queen of advice herself. Even when we're on walks, I'm like, damn. It's so inspiring and so true.
Thank you.
So I want this episode to just be really honest about growth, girlhood, friendships, social media, especially because we're both in that industry and learning about yourself, because I feel like we both are in a very interesting stage of life where we are learning about ourselves so much and what we like and what we don't like. So to start, I want to just touch on what stage of life you think you're in. Couple of words, describe the vibes and what you're doing.
It's so funny because I turned 22 a couple weeks ago, and I said that when I turned 22, it was my new fun era. I think that I'm like the type of person where I just rebrand so quickly.
Yes.
And I think this whole year has been so focused on one thing. So entering 22, I'm a little bit delusional and I'm just like 22 is the era, and I love it. It's been 2 weeks and I'm having so much fun.
Yeah, you're just like totally focused in on yourself, and I feel like you can tell us because we're going to touch on this, but I feel like you have such a good balance of like work, life, uni, fun, girlfriend balance, and so I feel like watching you is just so fun. But you did just say that you just finished a big stage of your life and something you've been focused on for a long time, which is Miss Universe, which is so fun and crazy to watch from the outside. It seemed like such a huge chapter for you and such a big portion of your life, and something we've spoken about a little bit since we've known each other. And most people only know like the glam side, the gowns, the dresses, the makeup and the photos. So I want to know what it was like for you behind the scenes with the girls. That is a big environment to be in. It's a group of women who are so beautiful and wonderful, but also powerful and competitive. And I just want to hear from you what that experience taught you. So if you could give us a wrap up of what that experience was like for you.
So I think I didn't even know what this program was
up until walking into.
Yeah, I didn't even know that it existed up until last November, but I knew that I was graduating uni at the end of this year, and I call it my selfishly selfless era, where as long as I'm kind of not hurting other people, I'm just in an era of my life where I want to say yes to everything, do everything incredible. Yeah. And the opportunity kind of came out of nowhere, and I fully just immersed myself. I think at the start of this program, I had no idea what it was, but basically what Miss Universe Australia is there's Miss Universe where there's the whole world, and I think over 200 countries go to compete. And in Australia, the way that they've done this program, because obviously pageantry isn't a big thing in Australia, but the way that they've done it for us in Australia is they take the beauty pageant, and I think that comes to play at the end, but they create an 8-month long journey that is totally self-development. So we have our state finals and then the nationalists get chosen, and then we go to Vietnam and we do NIDA courses. We have a swim shoot and you're meeting girls from all different states. So I've got hotels all over Australia now, basically.
Yeah.
And then there's a 3-month break. And I guess that's just, you go back to reality, a little bit of preparation. And then we have the national finals in Perth, which we came back from about 2 months ago.
Crazy. Talking about recruitment wise, how does someone like get involved with that?
So I had them message me on Instagram in November, and then you submit a video application, some photos, some information about yourself, but anyone can apply. Like, it's open to anyone. And something amazing is, I think that they recently changed a lot of the standards with age or being a mother. We had a mother in our program. She became one of my best friends from it. And yeah, anyone can apply.
Yeah. How are you feeling now that it's over? Because it was such a big chunk of this year.
Yeah. So I think up until about it finished 2 months ago, and I think for the first 6 weeks after, I think when you pour your heart and soul into something for so long, you get very consumed into a bubble of what it was that you almost forget what the outside world is.
What's real.
Yeah. And I think you forget you had goals prior to something and that life moves on and there's so much going on. So I think for the first 6 weeks, I'd like to say I was adjusting back to reality.
Yeah.
And I think something with the program is you always have in your mind that you are different. You have something crazy going on in your life. And I think so many people even said after, how do you top this? What are you going to do now? So I think that added a lot of external pressure coming home.
Definitely.
But honestly, as I said before, like turning 22 and just entering like a new, I only say 22 because it was a tangible
It's
new
a pivotal
life.
moment for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was just a nice way to close a chapter. And now I just feel like things are so well on track, and everything about the program that I learnt is just all information and knowledge that I'm using for now.
Yeah. And you said it was really easy to get wrapped up in the experience. I can see how it was easy because some of the things you were doing, I mean, you were going to Vietnam, you were going to all these different places. Tell us about Vietnam and what the biggest thing you learnt from this experience was.
Vietnam was incredible.
Yeah.
I made jokes that it felt a little bit like you were on Big Brother.
Yeah.
And I guess it's open to interpretation of how you take the experience. Obviously, some people are going, they just want to have fun. Some people are fully in it. At the start, I was just like, oh, this is fun. I just want to be a national finalist, but I'm not a half-assed person. Like if I do something, I'm like all in.
All
Like
in.
it becomes I have a lot of energy that I'll put it into something. So going to Vietnam was insane. I'd never met any of these girls before, and we did a NIDA course, and you had to public speak in front of a group of girls, and you had to get very vulnerable during it. We did charity visits, which was incredible. I don't think I ever would have had that opportunity. We went to the Hard of Hearing school in Vietnam, that was incredible. And I think that it really brought us girls back down to earth because primarily the Vietnam trip is your official swim shoot. So that was so scary.
Crazy going from like swim shoot to an experience like that as well.
Yeah.
Like it would have been so humbling, I can imagine.
You needed it. I think we get so consumed in the way that we look.
Yeah.
I mean, you're showing up every day on not a lot of sleep. You're constantly looking at photos of yourself because a lot of what Miss Universe is we have incredible sponsors, which means that we need to do a lot of deliverables of content. So you're constantly looking at yourself. I mean, I've never done a swim shoot before, and that was such a big thing. So getting to them.
Terrifying.
Oh, terrifying. I was petrified.
You're like in a bikini in front of a bunch of people you barely know with a bunch of other beautiful girls. It's a scary situation to walk into.
It is so scary. But then getting to have other experiences that bring you back down to earth really proved to me like that doesn't matter.
Yeah. I feel like also it's got such a reputation for pageant competitions and beauty pageants. Did you feel more support, or did you feel the competitiveness from the girls when you were in that situation?
I think that the thing with Miss Universe Australia is the directors of the program are so strong on this is not a competition.
Yeah.
There's 30 girls here. One girl's going to win. For 29 of you, you need to make the most of it. Something really beautiful that they said was on one of the last days was no matter what happens, you need to look at the other 28 girls like me and then the other 28 girls that you're looking at. And each of them are so, so, so incredible. But it wasn't one of them. I personally I don't let competitiveness get to me. I grew up a runner, and I think something kind of interesting with that is that you always stay in your own lane. Like you're going to sprint, you've done your own training, but you stay in your own lane. If you start pushing into someone else's, you're going to get disqualified.
Yeah.
And I think I take that into everything I do, is that the only person I want to compete with is an old version of me, because everyone is literally in their own lane. And obviously I think with girls, 30 beautiful girls, everyone can get competitive. But
it's so easy.
Yeah.
And which is why I asked, because I can't imagine being in that situation or that type of program. It would be, one, so easy to get insecure and doubt yourself when you're surrounded by intelligent, beautiful girls who are all there for the same reason as you are, and get lost in the storyline that is pageants generally and how we've grown up seeing them being portrayed around the world, because obviously in America and other countries it is so much bigger than it is in Australia, and watching that, it does come across more about the looks than the love and the brains of the girls. So I want to ask, because this episode is going to be a lot about female friendships and girlhood, what did you learn about female friendships while you were in the program?
I honestly made some really good friends from the program. And I think that one of my fears about entering it was, what are these girls going to be like? Because I know back at home, my girls are my everything.
Yeah.
Like if I'm very close with someone, like you're my ride or die. So I was very fearful of that. But honestly, it was just the environment that we were fostered in. Girls wanted to bring each other up. If people needed help with something, there were days where girls were getting really upset and we'd be comforting each other and bringing each other up. And obviously, because a lot of it was shoots and photos, it can get a lot, but it's just a little pep talk to another girl. I think that when we see also the people that are there for us, it makes you want to be there for others.
Did you ever feel pressure to present a certain side of yourself? We've talked like briefly about this, because I feel like I've said over and over again, it is so easy to get wound up in this dynamic and this thing that you were doing. So did you feel like you lost yourself, or you were trying to present as someone that you weren't naturally?
I think I would have to say yes to that. It was never external pressure from anyone, but I think it comes into that place of comparison when me being 21 while doing the program, a lot of the girls were 25, 26, 27, that I looked at these girls and I thought, oh my gosh, you were beautiful, you were smart, you are so kind, you were amazing. And I remember after our first catch up, I walked away when we met everyone and I called my friend up and I was like, what am I doing? Why am I here? And then I think it was probably me looking at myself thinking, you need to talk better, you need to stand better, you need to dress a certain way, you need to become the most perfect, pristine version of yourself, which it's even now the way I talk is totally different, but I turned it into the most valuable lesson because I've been able to merge this mature version of myself with Ash that I am to the core, which I just think has turned out so well for me because I didn't lose myself, but I just made myself the best me.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I basically wanted to touch on Miss Universe, one, because it has so much to do with what we're going to be talking about with friendships and girlhood and learning about yourself and loving yourself, but also because it was such a big chunk of your life this year. And I know that you learned so much from it, and even just watching from the outside, it looked like such a cool experience. And I think so many girls would benefit from having an experience like that because yes, you probably had moments of feeling insecure or doubting yourself, but I think at the end of the day, you come out more confident in yourself and who you are and knowing what you stand for as well. So I want to start off by going into uni and early transitions and your early 20s, because going from high school to university is a very big jump that I don't think many people realize. You're making really big decisions, deciding on what you're going to study and what career path you're going to take. I want to talk about, what was your experience like choosing what you were going to study? How did you know it was going to be the right decision for you?
I still don't think that my course was the right decision for me.
And that is so many people.
I think that I think I always knew that I wanted to study business, but I just don't think I've ever been the person that wants a regular kind of 9 to 5 working for someone else's dream.
Yeah.
I have a lot of things that I want to do. So I think doing a business marketing degree was just super open. We obviously had the careers council at school. So I guess I ended up in this course. It's been great. I studied overseas in Italy for a couple of weeks, but I think everything that I've learned has been from the Miss Universe program, from work, from social media.
Being hands-on.
Yeah.
No, I feel the exact same way. I know the way I went about it was not normal. Obviously, I left high school and went to uni, left high school early. And obviously journalism is the obvious choice for me to be studying, but I just feel like I am such a hands-on, would rather be here, for example, than doing an assignment. So I think leaving high school and having to make that decision, and also make that decision knowing it comes with a lot of debt for most people, what would you have done differently, and what would have you chosen differently if you could go back?
I think I probably would have done something with PR or journalism, but then again, I don't think I would change anything, because it's obviously, I really believe everything happens for a reason. Like, that's something I believe so strongly in. And I think everything I've learned, every experience that's worked out the way it did, led me to what I'm doing now and what's to come. So I think I honestly would have kept it the same.
Yeah. You have literally one of the best group of girls friends that I've ever seen. Honestly, it's so rare to have such a good group of girlfriends at such a young age. Most people meet their lifelong friends in their mid to late 20s, I feel like. So I want to talk about navigating friendships in uni, how you've maintained these friendships with such a strong group of girls.
I met my bestest friends when I was in high school. So I feel like if you can survive high school with a group of girls, you know, the jealousy, the boys, the parties, everything, then I think it's experiences that really bonds people. Obviously, I've been friends with them since I was so young, but I think something that's really special about us is we will celebrate everything for each other, and we're truly happy. Like, we will support each other through anything, good or bad. And I think also making friends during Miss Universe, if you could support someone during a time where you should be competing against them, even high school, you know, under the radar, things are competitive.
Yeah.
And if you can stay friends with someone during a time like that, it's so important. And it just comes into that trust and loyalty. And I think that having such a strong group of friends, it just makes, as like silly as it sounds, it makes everything feel fun and like a movie. Like you could be doing the most boring thing, but if you're with good people, it's loyalty. Like there's no better option than my friends.
Yeah. One other thing is, though, it's quite common for people to stay friends after high school because it's what's comfortable for them. But how do you think people could tell the difference between having good friends like yours, genuinely good friends, and maybe friends that aren't so good, but you staying friends with them because you've been friends with them from high school?
I think that's kind of the same as anything in life. A lot of things, if they benefit you and if they're making you a better person and pushing you to do better things, it's any relationship. Obviously, something like that is amazing for you. When I was doing everything with Miss Universe or just social media, my people are the ones that when I'm not there in a room, they're the ones that are defending me if my name's getting brought up. And I think you can identify with people also if things are not the greatest at times. Are they going to be there for you?
Yeah. How do you find time to balance university, work, and maintaining these really good friendships? Because a good friendship deserves time and needs time and nurturing as well.
I think that's something I've really learned this year is that being busy and having so much on is a privilege. Like pressure is a privilege. To be so busy it's incredible that I think my friends, I just know that they are always there for me. I will always make time for them. I think that it's something, I know that this year being upfront, a lot of people that I wasn't as close with, I've probably have distanced from a lot of people this year just because I was so busy, which obviously that is something to work on, but it's a text here or there. Everyone's got time to send a text message, and as simple as it is, if you wanted to, you would.
And it makes the biggest difference.
Yeah.
How do you think you've learnt to balance uni and work and your friendships and learning how to not feel guilty for saying no to things if you can't fit them in?
So that's what I call my selfless error. Something that I learned this year is I don't care about FOMO. If I'm not somewhere, if I'm tired, if I need to take care of myself, that's what's most important. Because if I'm going to go out and feel absolutely terrible the next day, it's not worth it. If I'm out, I'm just going to go home. But balancing everything is just, for me, it's just making a list and just knowing I have to do it and being accountable. I've really learned the importance of discipline versus like motivation. I think that everyone's motivated. Everyone says, I want to do this, I want to whatever, but being disciplined and actually getting shit done is so different to motivation. And I think I've taught myself discipline.
I'm the worst with procrastinating. It's something I need to work on because I will write the list, but I'll sit on my phone doom scrolling for half an hour, and then if it gets to like 3:33, I'll be like, oh, I'll start at 3:35. It's fine. And then it's like 3:36 and I'm like, well, now I can't start until 3:40.
No,
I'm the worst
same.
for it.
I feel like I used to be the same, but now I feel like I feel guilty when I'm not doing something productive.
Yeah.
And I feel like my friends all the time are like, just chill for a second, be a 21 or 22-year-old now and just relax. But I need to be doing something.
Yeah. And I think it's so easy for people to feel guilty for saying no to things as well. I definitely get that way. I feel like if I've been working a lot, if I say no to hanging out with friends or family or something, I feel guilty for myself and guilty for my friends and family. But I think it's so important to take the time for yourself, because if you go out and you're exhausted, you're just doing yourself a disservice. I want to jump into social media because it's something that we're both involved in, and talking about balance, it's something that I know I've had to learn how to balance because I love social media. I love posting, and often it jumps to the top of my to-do list. Even if I have an assignment due that's probably more important, I often find myself picking social media or events or something like this over doing my assignment. So I think the balance is really relevant there as well, and it's something we're both navigating with work and uni. I want to talk about how you first got into social media.
So I actually started a jumper brand. It's so funny, I'm wearing a top like this now.
Yes.
Because it was an off-the-shoulder jumper brand called Coma Club. I did that when I was about 18 or 19 when I finished school. And I think because of that, I decided that I kind of wanted a face behind the brand so that people knew it was a real person, there was a personality behind it. And then I think I did that brand, I think it was at a different point in my life, and I think I disconnected a little bit from the design of it. And I honestly realized that I love posting.
Yeah.
And then I think I accidentally just fell into it.
Yeah. What has been your experience like being in social media and balancing uni and work? And I want to talk about brand collabs and just that whole side of it, because I know it's so fascinating to people that aren't in it, and for people to understand. I know like literally everyone and their dog is an influencer and on social media now, but I still think it's so fun for people to learn about. So what was your first brand collab moment?
I'm honestly still new to it. I think I've probably taken it seriously for maybe a year now, but my first collab, I think it was Supreme maybe.
Oh my God, what a good first
I
class.
think I bought a top and I made a video about it, and then they reached out to me, and I remember like screaming to my mum being like, oh my gosh, what?
Yeah.
Like I get the biggest imposter syndrome with anything that even now something happens and I'm like, me? Like
Yes.
what? So when that happened, I was so excited.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm the exact same. I feel like I've been taking it seriously for maybe a year now, but it is so crazy when people reach out because it is such big imposter syndrome. You're like, why? Like, why me? Being online and posting on social media and getting some attention does come with the possibility of losing friends or friendships or people not being supportive. So I want to know, have you had any experiences in that?
I remember when I first started social media with the jumper business,
Yeah.
no one that I knew had really done it at the time. And I
And
remember
it did really well when you started.
really-
It popped
was
off.
so much fun and I loved it.
And you honestly, like I feel like in your first month or two, you were already getting big brands like ripping off your designs, copying, because it did so well.
It was so unique at the time. I remember it was post-COVID and I think people had forgotten how to dress because we
Yeah.
were always inside. So something like loungewear was just doing so well at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember going to parties and people making comments like, oh my God, post one more time. Like, oh, you're posting this on Instagram. Like saying comments about being smart or I don't know, just people making a lot of comments about what I was posting, even people very close to me. But that
Because
was
it's foreign for them.
yes. And it's a bit like, what are you doing? And I think people think social media can get superficial. And I think that they think that that makes you superficial if you're using a platform that is superficial, which it's not. It's how you use it.
Have you felt any extreme imposter syndrome since taking it seriously? What's been the biggest imposter syndrome moment you've had so far?
I mean, literally sitting here right now, every second word I say, I'm like, what am I doing?
No.
Why am I here? Literally everything. I'm really harsh on myself. And I also am very, very grounded and nothing will ever kind of get to me that I'm doing. I'm always wanting more. If something doesn't happen every single day for me, I'm like, it's
That was
not enough.
boring. Yeah, no, I'm the exact same. If something cool doesn't happen or an email or if I don't feel like I've achieved something, I'm like, well, that was a boring day.
Yeah.
That was unsuccessful. But no, it's like it's so easy to get lost in what you're doing and not realize what you're achieving while you're doing it. I know I've seen so many videos lately of people talking about like when they achieve something they wanted so bad, they don't even realize they've achieved it because they're focusing on the next thing they want. And I relate to that so much because the amount of things I've achieved, like just personal
You
goals.
are doing incredible.
Okay.
Every time I see you, you've done something new, amazing. And I'm like,
Even
go
just like
girl.
little personal goals. Like if I go out and I run 5Ks instead of 4, which I don't run, I like run once a month. But even if I go out and run for that one time that month, I'm like, oh, thank God that's over. But I'm like, no, like I always wish I could be a runner and I never used to love exercising and now I do. And it's just so easy to get caught up even in the small personal things. And I think I do that so much and I think so many other people do it. So I think taking the time to acknowledge, even like getting invited to events with brands, like that event we both were at, the beauty bar event, like that was so cool.
So surreal. I feel like I've never gone to like a store opening before.
No, me
And that
either.
was incredible. Like the setup, everything, it was beautiful.
I know.
But touching on what you said before, something that I really try to do is romanticize everything. Like everything can be romanticized. Every little goal, every time you achieve something, like romanticize it.
Yeah. And I think that's why you're here because I'm such a like, oh, whatever. And you are just so locked into like yourself and self-love and blah, 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 all the cliche things. But that's why I wanted you here because every time I'm around you, I'm like, oh, that's so true. Every single time. I'm like, are you on a different side of TikTok to me? How are you thinking of these things?
It's so funny. Some of the girls, when I think they said it to me on like the last day of the program, they're like, we thought you were going to be the fakest girl ever the first day we met you because you were so like positive and happy. But like when you were exhausted, you were the same. And I'm like, yep, that's me. But I like to call it, I was listening to a podcast the other day. I think I've just got a growth mindset that no matter what happens, everything that's happening, it's happening for a reason and it's going to better you. And there's a positive for everything. Like I am so stuck into mindset and manifestation and the power of your brain that I just know if I'm thinking positive about everything, the energy translates.
I want to talk about your experience with events so far. Have you, obviously it's very easy for there to be competition, judgment, side eyes, greasies, dirty looks at these things, and learning that maybe everyone you meet in this industry's intentions aren't pure. There is obviously a lot of social climbing and people looking for the next best person. I spoke about it with my last guest, with Georgie, that it's really telling if someone will stand with you at an event, but if someone better walked in, would they walk away? So I want to talk about your experience in that realm of things.
I think that I was listening to a podcast the other day and they were talking about that and they said, who better than you for something, which it's really stuck with me. I think that when everyone enters a room and a space, you're there for a reason. And when you're in a room with people, the way that you show up is the most important. You know, when you're in a room, you're not walking around and someone has their following on their head.
No.
But if you're walking around and you're not being nice to people, that's what people are going to notice. And I don't care who anyone is in a room, but if you're going to be nice and I'm going to have a fun time with you, I think that's the most important thing, because when you enter a room, social media is not there. It's just you and what you bring.
And everyone was invited for a reason.
Exactly.
Everyone was there for a reason. A brand saw something in everyone. But I know I have had some wild experiences at events. People are never rude directly or mean girls directly, but there's always a vibe which you can tell as soon as you walk in if it's going to be welcoming and if you can freely walk up to people, because a lot of the time I go to events by myself. A lot of the time you're not allowed a +1. So walking into that room where other people, nearly everyone else knows someone else, can be terrifying.
I respect you so much for that. It scares me. I've recently gotten into going to events, and the thought of going by myself, I am so outgoing when I have my safe person, but going somewhere by myself is so scary.
And it's so lucky now that I know like a lot of people, and a lot of the girls that I'm now friends with are generally invited to the same things I are. So I know I'm going to have at least one person there that I know. But even at the start of the year, I knew that I probably wasn't going to know anyone. And the amount of events I spent pretending to spend my whole time there taking content because I had no one to talk to is crazy. And looking back now, it's hilarious because I was so awkward standing in the corner pretending to take a photo of like a bag or something.
I would be the exact same. I would be so nervous.
But you can always tell when you first walk into a room if it's a space where you can walk up to someone you don't know and introduce yourself or start a conversation, or if it's an event where those aren't the vibes. And it sucks when those are the vibes because we're all here for the same reason and we're all here to promote the brand. And this industry is just like, I think it's such a good industry that gets a bad rap. So when things like that happen, it's like, come on, guys.
And I think you do hear things like that, but I guess that is with anything. It's just because it's social media, people are talking about it more.
Definitely.
But I guess any industry, there's going to be people like that, but you can't let it get to you. People aren't going to like you.
Even another thing that goes into it is we don't know each other in this room, but we all know each other. Like we all know each other's business because we're posting about it. Like if you're at an event, you know, they just broke up.
Yeah.
Their ex is here. They were an online relationship, so it's a little bit awkward now. Like, you know everybody's business and you don't even know them. So I think that's why it's even more scary because you're walking into a room vulnerable when you haven't even said a word.
And that's why you have to just back yourself. Mm-hmm. You have to be so content with yourself. I think that if people are truly happy with themselves, they're going to be kind to other people. Happy people don't have anything to be annoyed or angry or mean about. If people are not nice to you, that's them projecting their issues onto you.
Yeah. Have you ever had a influencer identity crisis? Have you ever questioned what you're posting, if you feel like you're putting on a persona when you turn the camera on? Because I know I accidentally do that sometimes. Like, it's so easy if you're having like an insecure day, if you're doing a talk to camera and you're like me and not very good at talking to camera, in just like an influencer social media setting, it's so easy to turn on a personality, turn on a voice, turn on a character for the camera. Do you feel like you've ever got caught up in that?
I think when Miss Universe was going on, I was probably being less authentic to myself, but I'm take me or leave me. Like, you either love me or you don't like me, and I don't care, to be honest. I think with my TikTok, I am just totally myself, that I haven't yet had any kind of crisis. Am I putting up a fake version of myself? Because I'm constantly sharing things that are real and happening. And it's so nice because I feel like it translates. I've had like girls be like, I love how relatable your content is, or you're just posting yourself. And I've honestly noticed that ever since I started using social media, I've found that even people from high school or people I meet, they like me more as a person because I'm authentic and they see me for me just because I love to just be myself, like take it or leave it.
Yeah. Do you feel like you've ever got caught up with numbers or views so far?
I think when I first started out, yes, absolutely. I think it's so hard not to. And when you see other people doing really well on social media, you can really get into a rut of comparing yourself. But I learned something so valuable a couple months ago, which has forever stuck with me. Before the program, before Miss Universe, I remember stalking everyone on social media, looking at everyone's followers, what they were doing, what they were posting. And it wasn't up until I met everyone in person and everyone was in a room, phones away, and I was like, wow, I really like myself. I really like the way I present. I'm chatting to everyone. Everyone here is beautiful, but I actually don't want to be anyone else here. I'm really content with myself. And I think that has translated into my personal life now, that whatever anyone else is doing, I've learned I'm in my own lane. Whatever chapter you're in, whatever path you're in, I'm in my own, and your middle might be my start or your end might be my middle, and you can't compare to someone else's life.
No, you can't. And I've found myself in that situation so many times because obviously even just a normal person scrolling social media, it's so easy to get caught up in what everyone else is doing and not feeling like you're doing enough, even though they are 28 and you're 18, or it's just so easy to compare.
Yeah, it's the worst. Comparison is truly the thief of joy.
Yeah. I want to talk about the rise of that girl culture on TikTok because it's a very big concept on TikTok, and waking up at
5 a.m.
going for a run, doing an ice bath, going to ice bath to spa to whatever. It's such a big culture on TikTok. Do you think it's more toxic or motivating? And do you think it's a positive thing for people to be consuming?
I mean, I woke up at 10:30 yesterday. My dad had already finished the Melbourne Marathon by the time I was like waking up. I don't really love that girl culture. I think that girl culture is something that social media, it's so prevalent on social media, but all I would want is to be that version of myself. And I think with that girl culture, 5 a.m., that doesn't work for everyone. If that makes you happy, that's incredible, but you just need to implement little routines that make you feel like that girl. Like honestly, having a fun night out, waking up at 10:30, being hungover and exhausted, that makes me feel like that girl. I've had a fun day. It's so subjective to each person that I don't think we can all look at.
There's so many
that
different
girl.
versions. Yeah. there's not just one version of being that girl, but on social media there is. And I think that puts it into a toxic category when it doesn't need to be.
Yeah, and there's so many young girls that are on social media seeing this and seeing this is getting views. A lot of people are doing this. There's transformations online and you cannot get influenced by that. You have no idea what's going on behind.
I touched on it briefly about the Forever New event, which was so incredible. It was so much fun.
It was so much fun.
Literally just a group of
Beautiful
gorgeous girls, jaw-dropping girls, and such nice girls as well. Like,
They
did
were
such a good
lovely.
job at the event.
Thank you.
But you recently started working for Forever New, managing their TikTok.
Yes, so I'm their TikTok content creator, which is so crazy because a few years ago, a job like that wouldn't have even existed.
No, not at all. And it's so new, but it's so important because brand sales, I would say, like nearly half are coming from social media nowadays. There's not much other type of advertising. There's no TV advertising anymore. Like, it's such a huge part of brands these days. So it's so exciting that you've started working there. And I think they're doing such a good job at not even rebranding, but just bringing such a new audience into knowing their brand. Because I remember when I was younger, I would never even think to shop at Forever New. But now I'm like, this stuff is beautiful. Yeah. They're doing such a good job. But the reason I bring it up is because you're on the personal side of TikTok and social media. You've got your own personal brand, but now you're managing a brand's TikTok and you're seeing that side of things and how the things work in the back end and organizing an influencer event. You attend them, but you saw how and what it takes into organizing one. So I want to ask, what's the biggest differences being on the other side of the industry?
I feel like there is so much thought that goes into it. Obviously, when you get to an event, you just rock up, see who's there. But being on the other side, it's like there's a huge team. We have a separate group of people that are doing events, picking who's coming. Yeah. And it's so crazy to see it. I think then when you go to an event, it's so humbling to know these people have worked so hard to bring this to life. Like, let's promote it. They've been working on this for so long.
And I have to say, like, I am guilty of, up until that event, really not in an ungrateful way, but not taking into consideration how much time and money and like people went into organizing. Some of these events are huge and you just never even think, because you're thinking about the content you have to get and the stuff you have to post for this brand to be there because you're so lucky to be there. But you don't think of how many people went in to organize this. It wasn't a team of 3 going, this is a good idea, let's do this. Like, so much goes into it. What has been your experience working with Forever New and being on that side of things so far?
I love it. It's my first office big girl job. And I mean, I didn't realize how large the company was. There's so many people in that office. There's like the business side and then there's the buyers, design side. But working in an environment with, I think I'm probably one of the youngest people there, and working with like women that are so brilliant and smart has been incredible because everyone's working towards one brand vision and one brand that everyone wants to support other people's ideas. But it's been amazing. Like, the things that I've learned it's so much more that I've learned at uni or that theory can teach you that it's really taught me, especially in marketing. Like, your degree isn't the be all or end all.
Yes.
You don't necessarily need that. And people are so willing to help you learn and watch you grow, and they want you to succeed, which has been, it's so eye-opening.
Yeah. And I think especially a role like yours, you didn't need your degree. Like, obviously it probably helps, but you didn't need your degree because your social media was and is your resume at the end of the day. And I think having that showed them what you can do. You're comfortable in front of a camera. I know so many other girls in social media who have got incredible jobs because of their personal brand and their social media and their capability to talk to camera. I want to ask, like, what was your experience being a part of organizing the Forever New event and being there and doing the social media and running around rather than being an influencer attending and getting to leave after an hour or 2?
I think it's so funny because if I was invited to that event, I probably would have been so nervous going up to speak to people. But obviously because I had been working on it, I mean, things turn around so quickly. Like it was that week where I was planning out the content, what I wanted to ask people, but it really forced me out of my comfort zone to just walk up to every girl there, be like, hi, I'm Ash. I'm from the TikTok team. Can I ask you a couple questions?
Yeah.
And it was so nice getting to just push myself out of that comfort zone and get so comfortable being uncomfortable that it was so fun just getting to chat to everyone, because if I was there, I possibly wouldn't have done that. But seeing the girls plan everything, the event team that would come in and do everything was incredible.
And also, obviously, everyone will say yes to doing a little interview at the event because that's what they're there for. But in the back of your mind, you are setting yourself up for rejection.
Yeah, totally.
And two beautiful girls who have a big following would be terrifying.
It's so scary, but there was something about that event. Every girl was just so nice that everyone I asked was willing to chat, like do the content, which was so good.
Yeah. I've said a million times over that you were the queen of self-love and learning about yourself online and knowing yourself and trusting yourself. I want to get into reinventing yourself in your 20s and letting go of old versions of yourself, because it can be hard to accept change and that you're growing up. So what has your experience been like reinventing yourself? You said you love a era and reinventing yourself all the time. So what's your advice? What have you learned so far?
I feel like I reinvent myself so often these days.
Yeah.
Like I'm always in an era of something, but it's so exciting. And as I said, I've gotten so comfortable being uncomfortable. That's something I think I've learned, is that being uncomfortable and feeling that imposter syndrome in anything that I'm doing is a good thing. If you feel imposter syndrome, it's because you're trying something new and you're uncomfortable. I really have a growth mindset that everything I'm doing, I want to grow, I want to better, that I feel like I section my life in eras of things that are going on and reinventing myself, whether that's a new career path or something new that I'm interested in. I'm always looking for something new.
Yeah. What would you say to someone who's maybe scared of change or scared of starting a new portion of their life?
I think that change is so exciting. Like something that I will always preach is that a breakup is the most exciting thing you can go through.
Glow up.
It's glow up season. Like you're going to become closer with your friends. You're going to find yourself. You're going to get new experiences. And I also think every time you hit rock bottom or something isn't going the right way, it's literally just making room for something else. Something bigger and better is coming. But something I've learned with that is it's literally all in your mind. Like everything you're doing is a mindset. You are so in control of things that are going to happen by what you're projecting. Like I've got a reminder that comes up on my phone every single morning at 9 a.m. that says warning, change frequency, bad frequency, recording to the universe.
Yeah.
And it just means everything that I'm thinking, if I'm thinking positively, it's going to reflect back. And I think anything that happens, any change, something big is coming. It's so simple, but it's so effective in the way you carry yourself.
Yeah. How have you let go of the fear of being cringe and learning to just do what you want to do?
I literally always say that if you think something is cringe, it's because you're thinking it. Like anything that you do and anything that you say, if I'm walking around saying to people, oh my gosh, I don't like the way that my nose looks, people are going to reflect that back to me. I genuinely believe I could be in a bar, trip, and if I laugh and be like, oh, that was so funny, no one's going to second guess it.
No.
It's literally the way you carry yourself.
Always laugh at yourself first.
Exactly.
Is my thing. I will always be the first person to laugh at myself so no one else can.
Exactly.
Before me.
If you give off that vibe that you are so sure of yourself, nothing that you're doing is cringe. I don't think anything I'm doing is cringe because I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it cool. And that's my brain telling me that. Anyone else's opinions, that's external.
Yeah. No, and I think it's so easy to get caught up in what other people think about you. Everyone's guilty of doing it every now and then. But especially in girlhood and friendships, comparison and what your friends or just other random girls think of you is so prominent, and one of the big topics on TikTok is girlhood. There's 1,000,001 videos every single day talking about girlhood, the good and the bad. It can be inspiring, empowering, but also inevitably there's always girls putting each other down in comment sections. I saw the other day a new girl just started opening for Tate McRae instead of Zara. Is it Lawson?
Oh, Zara Larson?
Yeah. Anyway, a new girl started opening for Tate McRae and the comment section was insane. Someone posted a TikTok saying, I came to see Zara and Tate, not whoever this is. And I was like, that is crazy because this girl is a new artist.
Yeah, that's
Tate
so
sees
exciting.
potential in her and has asked her to be here. And why you felt the need to take time out of your day to put another person doing something cool down will forever be mind-boggling and confusing to me. But I
100%.
think it's such a big part of TikTok because TikTok is a female-dominated space. And like I said, inevitably, girls will continue to put each other down. So I want to get your opinions on some of the biggest TikTok topics when it comes to girlhood and girl friendships. Starting off with the friendship breakup is always spoken about, almost more than normal breakups on TikTok these days. When outgrowing someone is probably for the better for your own personal growth, what do you think about friendship breakups?
I mean, yeah, they're harder than a normal breakup. I think if you're going through a breakup, your friends are there for you usually. Like the start of a relationship, they're there with you. Like your friends are always going to be there throughout your life. Like I always say, no matter who I'm standing next to one day when I'm getting married, I know who my bridesmaids are going to be.
Yeah.
And I think with friendship breakups, it's so hard because you form a sisterhood. But I do think in life, so many people are meant for a certain chapter. They're meant to teach you something. They're meant for an era. But so many people as well are going to always be there. But that's the people that will support you through anything.
And knowing when it's probably better to let particular friends go because you might even just be at different stages of life. Like there doesn't have to be some dramatic reason all the time. But if you have outgrown each other, whether it's in high school or university, or if you're at different stages of life, maybe one of your friends is getting married and having kids and you're still going out on the weekends and partying, and that's fine. Both scenarios are fine, but you've just outgrown each other. I think it can be a positive thing to leave friendships behind and in the past and look back at them with happy memories, and it doesn't always have to be negative. Do you believe in the pick me girl trend? Because like the girls trend, it's huge. It's generally very negative and used to put girls down or used to put girls against each other online. So what's your outlook on the pick me girl trend?
I think with the pick me girl trend, I feel like it's when a girl can like do something that puts down their friend or when you make a comment to make yourself look better. But I think it more upsets me because I think when someone's being a pick me, it probably comes out of a lack of self-worth and validation that you're trying to overcompensate. So I think TikTok places such a negative on it.
It's gone to a place of being not used for its actual meaning.
What does a pick me even like by the dictionary mean?
It started off as like someone who would put their friends down in front of guys to impress them and that type of thing.
Yeah,
but now it's turned into something so much bigger where a girl could be doing anything, like
I think that's
picking up a ping
far.
pong ball and getting called a pick me. Like it's insane.
I think people just want to find a problem with anything. I think when you're putting your friends down to get male attention, that is not okay. You cannot be doing that to your friend. But I think girls are just getting criticized for anything. You can say anything and you're going to get criticized.
And even like in my personal experience, I've had girls, like another girl, doesn't even have to be a guy, another girl could compliment my hair and they have to go out of their way to be like, well, you know, it's extensions. And I'm like, okay, I'm the first to admit I have extensions, but that's just unnecessary.
Yeah, it's so unnecessary. You should never have to put someone down to bring up yourself. And that comes out of that self-jealousy that somebody needs to be put down, but you shouldn't have to put anyone else down.
No. And I think the pick me trend has its space, but I think it's grown with TikTok into another thing to put girls down and to put girls against each other.
Yeah, it's like deferred from what it originally was, just to put a girl down for, as
Existing.
you said, literally doing existing, literally.
Yeah. What is your biggest red flag in friendships?
Friends that just probably don't support you and are going to make fun of what you're doing. I'm so lucky, and I don't think that any of my friends are like that. But if somebody is not supporting you and they're kind of making fun of what you're doing, or they're finding
Or even making
a
you
better
question
option,
yourself.
Yeah, really making you question yourself. If someone, I think probably actually friends that are looking for a better option, I really don't like that. I hate that. Like, just be content with your friends. Like, stop dropping your friends. That really annoys me.
Or just like cancelling plans because you found something better. It's being unreliable is like my worst nightmare.
How are you going to form a friendship with someone if you don't actually want to be present?
No, definitely. We're going to jump over to boys and dating and prioritizing yourself, because it's so important. I am not single, but I had been for over 2 years, and I've lived all the lives and experienced all the boys, the ones who secretly hate their girlfriends, or like the mama boys, or the childish boys, or the boys who hate girls with big dreams, all of them. And I feel like from our conversations, you are in this amazing stage of your life where you're so focused on yourself, so obsessed with yourself in the best way, that I think both of our outlooks on this topic will be so really beneficial and very fun. I feel like this is both relevant to us because we are both very ambitious girls, and we both have very big dreams that we want to achieve. So I want to talk about dating while you're ambitious and finding someone who doesn't dim your light, because it's so easy to get wound up in a relationship and forget yourself. So how do you prioritize yourself when you were dating or when you plan to start dating again in the future?
I literally joke all the time, like I'm in a full-time relationship with myself.
Yes.
People probably think I'm being a pick-me when I say that I love being single, but I fully am like obsessed and dating.
No, seriously,
so
I tried to
content
show
with
you
myself.
someone like last week, and you were like, he's cute, but not gonna happen.
Not at this point. I think because when I was in a relationship 17 to 19 and I totally lost myself. Yeah. I totally lost my self-worth. Like, my confidence was to the absolute floor, that I had to build it back up so much so by myself. Like, you build confidence when you're at your lowest, that I'm so content being by myself. Mm-hmm. But I think with dating, it really depends where you're seeking value and if you're seeking value in the wrong places or not. Like, you could take, I always say this quote, it's like you could take something to a pawn shop and they'll tell you it's $1,000, and then go somewhere else and they'll tell you it's $5. Like, it's where you're seeking value, and the correct person for you is going to bring you up and they're going to support what you're doing. But I think so many people also won't do that.
No, and
it's hard.
Not victim, but I have been in so many relationships where I center my life around them, not even on purpose. I've fallen into this cycle of getting so infatuated and excited, because it is exciting when you're young and you're getting into new relationships, where I will lose my goals and my priorities and the things that I have to do on my to-do list. And also, it's so easy to get caught up in valuing someone else's validation of yourself over your own as well, I think is a massive part of relationships.
Yeah, I feel like that really comes into the whole where you're seeking value, because I know I've been in that position as well, where I'm seeking so much of my validation of someone else and what they think of me. Mm-hmm. And you change your life for someone, but being with someone and a partner should enhance your life. You need to be happy in your life and the way it's going. A partner isn't meant to complete you and make you happy. They're meant to enhance everything.
Add to your life. No, I completely agree. And I think I'm finally at a stage of my life where I put myself first. And valuing my own priorities.
I mean, you're a perfect example. Like, you're thriving in everything you do, but you're seeing someone, and it's just what works for each person.
And I think it's everything happens for a reason, like you say,
100%.
always. And I think it is 100% about whether they're adding to your life or taking away. Because if someone, a friendship, a boyfriend, anyone is taking away from your life, get rid of them.
Yeah.
Immediately.
And also, like, external factors can't be the thing that make you happy.
No.
You need that happiness to come from within. You can't rely on a man for happiness.
No way. And I think one of the biggest things in this day and age, which has to do with validation, is situationships. They are so confusing and so draining as well. So what's your view on situationships and what they teach us and if they're worth it?
I feel like this might be a bit unpopular, but I feel like getting back with an ex and situationships are so romanticized.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people sometimes just want to feel something. And even if that's feeling like shit, they just want to feel something. But I remember when I was going through a breakup, something that my mum said to me was, Dad and I was always easy. We weren't sure if we wanted to be with each other. We didn't break up. We didn't make up. We knew each other was right. And I feel like social media has really romanticized the situationship.
It's romanticized so much about relationships in general and how it should and shouldn't be, that no one knows what should be happening and what shouldn't be happening. I'm a victim of it myself. Like, I question something and then I'm like, I don't actually believe that.
Yeah.
So it's so easy to fall into those loopholes, and some of those loopholes are like the ick list or the green flag list. Do you think they are positive and a good thing to be focusing on, or do you think it could become isolating for people if they're focusing that hard on the tiniest thing on an ick list?
I think that if you truly love someone, you're going to love their icks.
Yeah.
Like, the ick's going to go away. If you're so in love with someone, something odd that they do, you're going to love that about them when you truly love someone. I think if we're pinpointing so many icks about someone, you know, if you didn't want someone to look at you like that, you can't look at someone else like that. I think a red flag list, 100%. Walk away.
Don't ignore the red flag.
Yeah, no. But a harmless ick, like, you're going to love that about someone.
And I feel like it's gotten so common for people to walk into first dates looking for icks nowadays because it's so common on social media. Yes.
I saw a podcast that said that social media is ruining the way people are dating because we're getting so many dopamine hits from our phone. The generation now is actually struggling to fall in love because when you go on a date with someone, you've totally exhausted your dopamine levels. I think it's called like a dopamine exhaustion or something, that you need to go on a walk before you go on a date because then you're more open to getting that dopamine hit.
Yeah, I know, like, even myself, I did not want to go on my date with my boyfriend now because I just couldn't be bothered. I was like, I'm so busy, I'm working, I've got uni. And my mum was like, no, you should go. You need to experience things. You need to experience life. You need to experience dating to know what you do and you don't want in a person. You have to go on bad dates to know, obviously, what you want. And I've never heard that before, but that is so true. Like, I spent my whole time, like every single day, I spent my whole time getting ready, doing my makeup on TikTok. Like, I've got it stuck to my mirror, scrolling while I'm doing like my eyeshadow, which is crazy.
Yeah, there's so much science behind it. Like, you're getting dopamine hits from watching a 15-second video that by the time you're going on a date, like, you don't have room to feel that spark with someone because you've like felt the dopamine from your phone.
And even holding conversation these days is so hard because our attention spans are so short now.
I can't even watch movies anymore.
No.
I can't sit through a whole movie anymore.
Without going on your phone or doing something else.
Yeah.
No, literally, I am the exact same. And I've never been a big movie person, but even like TV shows, like, it takes a good TV show to keep me interested now.
I didn't watch TV for like 6 months because I was busy and I couldn't focus for that long.
Even I go towards like a YouTube video over a TV show or something that's longer than 30 minutes because at that point I'm bored.
My podcasts are on 2 times speed.
Really?
Yeah, I can't. I just need it to come in so quickly into my brain.
God. Let's talk about healing from rejection or getting ghosted, because I feel like ghosting is so normalized, and I feel like not caring about hurting people's feelings is so normalized these days. I was talking to someone about this the other day, and I just feel like no one is scared to hurt people's feelings, and it's a very selfish dating world nowadays. Let's talk about getting ghosted and rejected and turning it into redirection and using it as a positive, because like you said before, you try and turn everything into a positive.
Yeah. It's just redirection, honestly. Like, and also nothing is truly rejection. It means that it's not meant for you. It doesn't serve you. Getting out of a breakup, a relationship ending, I honestly just have the mindset with everything. Something big is coming. If that didn't work out, something bigger is truly coming. And if someone doesn't want you, if someone doesn't whatever, that's their loss. Like it's so simple, but so overcomplicated.
But it's so easy to put on the rose-colored glasses and feel like it's the end of the world. Even if you weren't exclusive with them, like that tiny little word, like it's so easy to feel like it is the end of the world. If someone's ghosted you with no warning, you don't know what the heck's happened or why they didn't like me, why don't they want me anymore.
And a relationship becomes such a habit. Like it's something that implements into your daily life that I saw getting out of a relationship. It's literally breaking a habit that you've become so used to. Like your body has to break the habit.
And that comes into no contact or keeping contact, because you want to keep contact with them because that's what you're used to.
And you can't do that.
No,
it's so hard.
Never works.
It never works. Keeping in contact never works.
I saw a podcast clip this morning of someone coming back to their podcast, which they used to host with their ex-partner, and they got asked, did you guys stay friends? And they were like, I would have loved to stay friends, and we both would have loved to try, but it just didn't work because I don't think you can stay friends with your ex unless you had time away. I think you can have time away and come back and be friends because obviously you got along with that person. You have stuff in common. But I think to truly like heal and move on and grow as a person, you can't have contact.
I saw something and it said if you're friends with an ex, you either didn't love them or you're still in love with them. I personally think no contact, don't be friends, I guess. If you're part of a past point in my life, I don't need them in a new chapter.
I think if you have time away to grow as separate people, possibly, but at the end of the day, you have to do what's right and healthy.
Yeah, and some people are meant for each other, but so subjective.
I want to go into style, identity, moving on from boyfriends and dating and codependency and having someone else, and going into finding yourself and your identity more on the style and beauty side of things, because it's so fun. And I think it's been a big part of my year this year is learning about myself and my style. I had a big video on TikTok a couple of months ago talking about I have no idea what my style is. I hate everything in my wardrobe because there's so many aesthetics on social media these days. And I think it really comes into play when you're trying to find yourself, because I was like, I don't know if I actually like these clothes or if they were just trending and I liked it for the moment, because I buy and sell my clothes so fast because I move on from them so fast because I'm buying into an aesthetic. So this year I feel like I've really been getting into figuring out what I actually like wearing and what I feel confident wearing. So I want to talk about how your aesthetic evolves as you grow, because I know we spoke about briefly a couple of weeks ago about how your style has changed from when you were 19 to now.
Yeah, I feel like my style always changes depending on what's happening. Like when I was in a relationship, I wanted to impress them. I wanted to look the way they liked. When I was doing Miss Universe, I thought that I needed to look Miss Universe-y and I needed to kind of dress a certain way. But I feel like with style, and something I've learned is something I always tell myself is I'm the accessory to my outfit, which is so silly. But I feel like these days I dress so much more, a little bit more plain and basic, because I'm like, well, I'm the accessory. Like whatever I wear, I'm going to be the accessory to the outfit. And I feel like with my style, I'm the same. I change every single day my aesthetic, but that's so okay. Fashion's fun. It's creative. Like everyone's creative and we express that through our fashion.
Yeah. I feel like one of the topics you and I talk about and come back to a lot is beauty standards, body image, and learning to love what makes us different. We've spoken about a lot. Obviously, I have grown up watching social media. We both have grown up watching social media, and the beauty standard is for a small nose. And that is something that for as long as I can remember, is something that I struggled with. The last 5 years of my life have been thinking about how I can save up enough money to get a nose job, which is
I used to be the same.
Insane because I was so young. And one of the things we were talking about is, wow, we question it a lot now, but I know when I'm older, I probably will grow into my face. And who are we talking about that we look up to so much? Because she is just the most beautiful girl, but she doesn't have a button nose and is the beauty standard of social media. What was her name? She's
Alessandra?
Yes.
Saint Malo?
Yes.
Yes.
She is one of the most beautiful girls I've ever seen in my life.
And she's so unique.
I look up to her because she is unique looking, and she isn't the typical iPhone face, which goes viral on TikTok.
That foxy threads lift everything.
Yes, and I think it's such an important thing to talk about because I still, to this day, get caught up in beauty standards and doom scrolling these stunning models. So what's your outlook on beauty standards and loving your own features and what makes you different to everyone else?
I think something that I realized a while ago is I just kind of realized I'm never going to be 100% happy with the way I look. Like I'm acknowledging that, but I can work out ways that make me just not care. Obviously, nobody loves the way that they look, but something that I think about all the time is that, like, if you look around the room and you see the microphone, the plant, the chair, the mirror, like they're all so different and they're used for so many different things. If you go on a holiday and you say to someone, where was your favorite place? Everyone's going to pick something so different because everything's so subjective and so different. Like, who honestly said that we need to look this certain way? Like, who told us that? There's so many different things in this world. Honestly, like, something I tell myself all the time is that no one is Ash Donna. When I'm feeling my ugliest and my worst, that's where my confidence is truly built. When I'm not feeling the best, when I'm in my pajamas, sitting at home, that's when I'm looking in the mirror and I'm telling myself those affirmations like, who better than you? Like, there's only one you. And I just think we're always going to scroll, but nobody really is you. And
the thing I always go back to is we weren't meant to see ourselves this much.
I was saying that the other day.
Like, it's crazy how much we look at ourselves now.
Yeah.
And I think, like you said about confidence in yourself and how it's built, I think one of my biggest things of how my confidence is built is if I've been doom scrolling and I go out to coffee with one of my friends like you, like that day we went out to coffee and we were talking about this topic in particular and oh my God, I lost my train of thought. And you were saying, no, I would never change your nose or your face. It's like everybody sees you completely differently to how you see yourself.
Oh my God, yeah.
And it's one of my biggest struggles on social media is I actually have no idea what I look like.
I'm the same.
I feel like I've made up a completely fake perception of myself because of how much I look at myself in a camera and in a mirror that I don't know what I look like.
Yeah, we don't know how we come off to other people anymore because we're constantly like looking at ourselves every second. But you would never, ever, ever look at someone else and think, you need to change this.
No,
you need to do this.
You would never
But
look
it's
at someone
only
else and
ourself.
think they need a nose job.
Never.
And I think that's the biggest thing, even though beauty standards on social media are so difficult because there is one kind of face that generally goes viral and gets the numbers and gets the views. So it's easy to get caught up in, well, why don't I look like that? Well, I need to change to look like that. But I think the most beautiful supermodels, they all look different. And I think that's like the most important thing to remind yourself of.
I also think something to remind ourselves is if the way that we look is the most interesting thing about us, and I say this all the time, if the way that you look is the most interesting thing about you, then you are so boring. Like if that's genuinely the most interesting thing about you, like you're going to get old one day, you're going to age, you're not going to look the same. And if you've got not the best personality, it doesn't matter. You can meet the most beautiful girls. If you're not nice, I'm not going to like you.
I want to wrap up by giving you a moment to say what's one mantra or habit or piece of advice that you live by that helps you both navigate your personal life and your work life and just your life as a whole.
I honestly just try to make every single day as like fun as possible.
Yeah.
Like it's so simple, but I think that working out what like happiness is and being so present is something that I'm trying so hard to do, and just being grateful for everything, being grateful for being busy, being grateful for opportunities. I just try to live my life being so grateful for people around me, because you can get caught up in things so quickly. And with social media, you can get so caught up in it that sometimes we really need to be brought back down to earth and be grateful for what's actually important. And I think that with the career path I'm like going into, that's something that every day, like literally I get into bed every night and I'm like, I'm so grateful for today. Like it was such an incredible day. I'm so grateful for those around me. And I just think staying grounded and realizing that the way we look isn't the most important thing. What we're doing, what we're posting is not actually the most important thing.
And I think it's so easy for people to say, or for people to go, yeah, everyone says be grateful, whatever. Like it's such a push away thing, and I'm guilty of it as well. But sitting down and actually thinking about the things you've achieved, and even the small things you achieved that day, makes all of the difference to your outlook.
Yeah, and it makes everything else seem so small when you realize just little things every day. Like I'm so grateful for this. It brings you back down to earth so much.
Yeah, definitely. Ash, I love you so much.
I love you more.
I loved our conversation, and I hope it helped anyone that's listening, because I know all the things we touched on are things that I've probably learnt only just this year and have helped my outlook and how I think and talk to myself and how I go into dating or my work or uni, or my motivation to get things done has just changed so much. So I hope even if people have heard these things before, it's a nice reminder for them. And I think you are the perfect person to come on and talk about all these things, because it is really your forte, online and offline. It's so inspiring.
You. No, I appreciate that so much, and you're incredible in everything you're doing. I'm so proud of you.